You're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell us your business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on amp2.tv. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
And happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to Tell Us Your Biz. Tell Us Your Biz, Brooklyn Cafe Show, after hours live on WWNN 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 1470 AM. Give us a call. Say hi to Dan on the board. 888-565-1470. We are kicking off the new year. It is January 4th, 2022. The power of numbers. 142020. 2022. I don't know. Power of the two.
What are you doing?
Power of the two. If you believe in numerology, we got a lot of twos in today's date. So happy Tuesday, everyone. Please give us a call. Let us know how you are setting your goals in business today. 888-565-1470. We've been talking about goal setting, starting businesses, some tax strategies all day long. So I think it's got to be better than talking about football. How you doing? Happy Tuesday, Freddie.
Good. I'm trying to fix the cameras. So you keep talking.
Keep talking. Let us know what's happening in business. Today we're talking a lot about starting new businesses and how the government is actually giving people some benefits. I did not realize till we learned today that different cities and municipalities, if you are a veteran, you do not have to pay city tax on your business. You don't have to pay the licensing fee. You only have to pay the taxes that go with it. But there are a lot of benefits for veterans that I did not realize. And we actually sat down today and wrote some goals out that we wanted for 2022. Now, some of them might be lofty, and some of them might be a stretch. But you know what? If you don't think big, like we learned it yesterday when we had Kindness Matters 365 on with us, then nothing's going to happen. And it can all start with one. That show we did yesterday was incredible. Our first brunch show live on WNN. Now, you can hear us every Monday and Wednesday at 11 o'clock a.m. live here on our brunch show.
Yes, and what did we do tonight is a little bit different.
What are we doing tonight?
We are live streaming the show
on the Brooklyn Cafe.
On the Brooklyn Cafe, because we're moving around. We want to see if people will pay attention.
See where they're paying attention, see where their TV is logged into.
It's true, because right now, just heard on the news, or we're hitting 1 million cases a day with this new wonderful virus we got cooking.
I got to tell you.
And it could cost you lots of moolah.
Well, not only that, it's just troubling to, you're talking about business, and we know the struggles people had, that people were leaving their jobs. They were looking for better paying jobs, and people were leaving corporate America and starting their own jobs, which has all the benefits that you may want from having your own job as far as taxes and LLCs and percentages off and working for yourself. However, what we're also seeing is that all those other jobs and getting people from the workforce back in, and then with COVID, this one is rampant. Thankfully, people seem to be recovering quicker. But what's going through, as fast as it goes through, it's one after another after another. So thankfully, though, I'm not hearing about a whole lot of hospitalizations. I'm not hearing about anything worse than that. But what it does to business, how it affects morale, to be going through this again. If you're going through this, let us know how you're getting through this. 888-565-1470.
You know, the funny thing is, Tell Us Your Biz is about promoting business and telling people, get up and get it done. So I don't want to spend time on the news. We already know the virus is out there. You got to sort of take care of business in order to get it going. But what I want to do is I want to tell people about some of the offerings that we're doing to get them on the air. This is one show that we have told people they can come on and they can tell us what they do for a living. We've had a few phone calls, which is kind of nice. That's one way. The cafe now went to the brunch hour on Mondays and Wednesdays. We're on right before DEFO, and we get to do what we do best. We had our first one Monday. Tomorrow's our second. And we invite companies to come forward because we know that things are tight right now. We know that networking is important. We know that if you have perishables, we talked about donuts today. If you have perishables, you got to find a niche. So we found a guy who does a donut, that you eat with a spoon
Because you can enjoy the whole donut.
because it's the filling of the
You
donut.
know, it's really funny because a lot of times I do use my donut as a carrying agent for the topping. There is no doubt. I am one of
What
those
topping?
guilty
The donut has a filling.
that I eat the toppings off of some donuts.
No.
And then I don't eat the donut. Or I say I'm not going to eat the donut and I have a bite and then I have another donut.
But you ever seen a donut this
Adrian,
big?
if you're listening, donut. How do you say donut with a British accent?
Donut. But the donuts have filling.
Some have filling, yes.
You eat it with a spoon. And then afterwards, you have the pastry.
Yes, correct.
Because this is this French pastry thing that he has
Brioche.
going on. The broachy broach.
Brioche. Yes.
You know what the hell that is. But his niche, I told him, is eating the donut with a spoon. Who does that?
Who does that? It's finding your niche in business.
It's
And
finding your niche.
networking. But the more and more people we have talked to today, and you and I have been on the phones a lot today because, like everybody else, we're keeping everything distant clean, doing a lot of virtual work. Everyone says it's the power of the networking that they find the most ROI for.
The power of the networking.
Network. And meeting people face to face, doing what they do, except now things are starting to close. So how do you get out and network? Is what we get to do every day is to share our network with you and bring people forward and use our platform to network.
That's right. But you got to keep the business going. You got to do it virtually. You have to be a little bit smart with it. Perishables are the hard deal. Those are restaurants.
Consumables, yeah.
Consumables. Things that after 3 days are... So I asked him, what are we going to do with the donuts that don't sell? He says, well, I order just enough. But you know eventually there's going to be some left over. So you came up with a brilliant idea. The French toasting.
Like, what do you do with leftover donuts? You make French toast.
I never heard of that.
Why not? You've got the brioche bread already. Put it in a nice egg batter with some of Precious Treasures Gourmet Foods butter. Remember, imagine like the vanilla butter with the brioche donut. Make a little bit of egg batter.
And they come up with...
And then you have French toast.
And then you take the filling you took out and you put it on the French toast.
Right? It
You
sounds
have-
like a perfect Sunday brunch
It's
to
the
me.
best. And the perishable now will last. You could freeze that.
It's just coming up with creative ideas on what to do with business.
Well, we had said that we were going to use precious butter, and we're going to have a contest to see who could come up with the best recipe using precious butter. I think we should kick it off.
We should kick it off. Actually, if you like cooking, you don't even have to be a chef. You can be a home chef, a cook, anything you want. We're having a cooking contest. Submit your recipes and your best ideas. It's going to be done with Precious Treasures Gourmet Foods butter. They have over 100 different butters to choose from the spicy cowboy to the hot herb that actually JT ordered while he was right on set with us last week.
You ordered it right there.
Because I love that one, the spicy herb. They've got ginger, they've got cranberry, they've got apple, you name it. So you're going to choose your butter and make a recipe.
And on Monday, we are going to have bread and butter at 11 o'clock on Monday's show.
On Monday, we've got Coley's Crumbs joining us.
Coley's Crumbs. Is that her name or is that
Her name is Nicole.
bread?
It is gluten-free breadcrumbs that is offered in some really boutique little stores right here in South Florida.
Now,
but you
we
can
had
send
her
it.
on, Tell Us Your Biz.
Yes, we did.
But she didn't bring any bread.
She brought bread to the cafe. She
the
didn't bring
cafe.
any bread here.
Yeah,
So
I
she's
know.
going to bring some great food to sponsor our brunch hour on Monday at 11 o'clock.
And we're going to kick off the butter tournament. The butter, make your best butter.
What would
batter.
be your best butter recipe? Best butter?
Best butter?
Best
Probably
butter.
a pound cake. Make a pound cake.
You ever made a pound cake before?
No.
But it's be having creative ideas, and you are the best at creative ideas. We also had Kindness Matters on the show yesterday to kick off our brunch hour. Kindness Matters 365, and also the Kindness Angels. So we are now doing a random act of kindness every day on the cafe. So today's words of kindness are: buy someone a cup of coffee to show them you care, a latte. Bum. But that was our words
I hope
of
they
kindness.
like the latte.
I hope you like it, a latte.
Do you remember the time that you used to go into Dunkin' Donuts and you bought, and then you left a tab to pay for the tab behind you? You ever did that?
I did actually. I did in the drive-through.
In the drive-thru, yeah.
Absolutely.
How much did you leave?
I think I said I'll buy. It might have been you behind me. I think I said I'll buy the coffee for the people behind me.
Me being behind you doesn't count. Silly. It wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. But did you buy somebody, a stranger?
Yeah, but you have to just give an amount because you don't know what they're going to buy behind you, right? You have to pay first.
What you do is you give them, you say, here's $10 towards their bill.
Right. So you have to give it.
At Dunkin' Donuts, $10 buys you a whole bunch of stuff.
I know. It's one of the most affordable places around. But leveling up business. And we had Lucky on today, a new show we're working with, Launch Your Business with Lucky. And Lucky does Fuego 2.0. She was our Friday Fuego host where everything is in Spanish. And then Monday we do Launch Your Business with Lucky right here at WWNN. And we're talking about setting goals and what you need to do for business.
Exactly. And what I love about Lucky is that she does English and she does Spanish and then she does Spanglish, which is like a little bit of both.
But it's a whole different take on it. It's really reaching into the Hispanic community is what we're looking to do.
It is.
And share our platforms and resources. So if you're comfortable in Spanish, we've got Fuego. If you're comfortable in English, we've got Launch Your Business with Lucky. If you're comfortable with Freddie Spanglish, we can do that as well.
Well, we got Portuguese, we got Russian, well, you name it. We got Creole. There's a bunch of assets that we have. So I don't want to hear that you can't get your business out there.
I have to tell you, one of the best American dream stories I think that I've heard recently was the food truck last week. Wanda's Kitchen food truck. This is a woman who works in a school system. She works in the cafeteria, and the cafeteria of the school was closed. School was closed for a year. And she cooked, and she always loved to cook. So she started cooking in her house, and people would come to her house and buy the food. She saved enough money that she bought a food truck. All licensed, everything with the city, health inspectors, everything she needed, wrapped the food truck, and parks it in front of her driveway. So now people can come get food from her food truck. And then on the weekends, she goes to different vendor fairs, and she goes to Jazz Fest, and you can find her at different parks. She has been so successful in this endeavor, she's buying a second food truck.
Second truck.
So you talk about living the American dream and making lemonade out of lemons,
And she's a wonderful person,
right?
which helps also. Her delivery is great. You know, she reminds me of my mom. Her cooking, I've eaten it just like Mom. She has all the old school charm in the present day, and her daughter is a sweetheart.
Right.
And I got to tell you, everything about this woman I admire because she did it at the worst time, and she's making it a go. And if she can do it, and she paid for all the licenses.
Everything.
She paid for everything, which is not cheap. That truck ain't cheap.
No, and she's getting the second one.
Which I'm gonna tell you, I think.
You want to drive the food truck
I
at night?
wanna-
You want a second job?
I think so.
Don't
Can you
quit your
imagine
day
if I
job.
get that bread? She wants the coffee. You know, we do sell the cafe coffee bag.
We're going to
We
be
don't have
having.
anything here.
We're going to have a merch store in the lobby. We're setting that up for the new year. Some T-shirts, mugs, really cool color
Some
changing
coffee?
mugs, some coffee. So you can
She's
get some
gonna put
Brooklyn
the coffee
Cafe,
in her truck.
which will be fantastic.
So maybe we got the bread on the truck. Maybe, you know, she gets a piece of bread with every. Maybe we get some bread business. We get
You
the bread
never
business.
know. Yeah, gluten free because a lot of foods you got to have gluten free.
You gotta have what you gotta have.
Got to have what you got to. But that I think was one of the nicest stories that we've seen. Really fulfilling your passion and purpose and making it work. For people who are saying there was no money, she found a way. And to think how busy she must be from this truck in her home that she bought a food truck and wrapped it.
That's right. 888-565-1470. Call us. Give a shout out to your business. No strings attached. Give a shout out. You got a deli. Tell us where it's at. You got a bodega. Tell us where it's at. You got a coffee house. Tell us where it's at. It makes no difference. Tell us where it's at. 888-565-1470. Make it happen. You know, it's funny. We got like 15 minutes, a little bit less. If nobody calls, then the significance is what? My business ain't worth a shout out?
I think people are afraid to call, but we had those 2 calls the last time
Why
we
are
had
they
JC
afraid to
call,
call? You
Charlotte.
don't bite.
No, only a little bit, or Charlotte. But it's really important also to take a look at your advertising budget. And what we talked about on advertising budget today, it's not a percentage, it's not a dollar amount. It's saying, you know what, I'm worth investing in myself to put this forward. Oh, look, 100 plus women, who cares texting in at the moment?
Now, I got to tell you, that group, I am bewildered because we need that group. We need 100 plus women on the set. Tell her that we have 5 shows we have to put on because there's a lot of women listening at this time, and a lot of women, they ask, how can we help them? And here it is.
Here we go.
888-565-1470. I was told I don't repeat the phone number enough.
88, repeat the phone number one more
I
time.
can't because I say it real fast.
888-565-1470. Thank Dan for running the board for us. But there are so many great organizations and foundations. Kindness Angels is another great foundation, and they are doing collections. Every month they work with St. Gregory's, they work with other foundations, and they're going to be collecting different supplies for different months. So whether it be food,
Kindness Angels.
Yes.
Are
That was
they-
Linda Barrett, who
that's
we
her
interviewed
mom.
yesterday. Yes.
They do older, and then the daughter does younger, or the age just doesn't matter.
Kindness
that.
Matters was started as an after-school program in
Right.
schools, an after-school club, and it has grown, and it is really within the
It's
school
huge.
system.
Yeah.
But it's the kids spreading kindness, and then the parents. But throughout the community, she is so important and such an integral part of our community, Laura Reese's, and Kindness Matters. You can find it at km365.org. That her mom, thinking big, decided to help St. Gregory's Church and
So those are
Kindness
the
Angels.
angels?
So they cook, they bring in food, they help decorate, not decorate, but if you're moving to a new home and they had someone that they collected all the kitchen appliances for, and every month they're going to collect something else.
I got a funny story to tell you.
I see you're laughing.
When I was in New York City, before I became an auxiliary cop, I used to be on a community rover, like a van. And we met up with the Guardian Angels. You know the Guardian Angels?
Uh-huh.
Reva and that whole group. I met them in Manhattan. So I wanted to be a Guardian Angel. So one of the requirements in the Guardian Angels is that you had to know how to defend yourself. So he said to me, do you know martial arts? So I jumped up and acted like Bruce Lee. I didn't know no martial arts. And I started acting like a crazy person. So he says, okay, we'll make you a guardian angel just based on the fact that you're nuts.
That's pretty much a true story.
True story.
You are nuts. And people are reevaluating their businesses and what's important to them. I spoke to the woman that we actually did a show for over in Italy. We streamed it over for the Uffizi Gallery.
How is the feet?
The Uffizi. So I was reading an article today that some great art has been found when they are being restoring different galleries in around.
The Last Supper or something like that.
They found another Last Supper that has the signature has been identified, because when you're restoring art, you realize some other great pieces. You may look at it and say, this is spectacular. You're on camera, by the way, Linda. Yeah, that yawn was. No, I'm kidding.
You can hear it. And who painted it?
It was a Tibetan piece, so that's a new piece. And she said there's
Tibetan.
so
The hell
many
is a Tibetan?
artists.
Oh, that's an artist?
Yes,
Not the country.
an artist from Tibet.
The Euphrates and Tibet River. I remember that in junior high school.
Euphrates River. There was the Tibet River.
And there was a Tibet River.
What's the longest river in Egypt?
The Nile.
Denial.
The Nile.
We've definitely been doing this too long today. How many
The
shows?
latte. Too many shows.
I know. Hope you care. A latte.
Look at that. Well, we're halfway through and still no phone call. 888-565-1470. Somebody call. I want to hear you say a shout out for your business.
Well, another great tip we got today, we were talking to Justin Mooney of HHK about putting your paperwork in place for businesses and your estate planning. But he was telling us that the chambers have a lot of great small business mentors that are free for you to help you establish your business.
Yes.
When you're looking to establish a business, not everyone does it like you and I do, or, you know, we just jump in full feet
Yeah,
ahead.
but he
and we
liked
go.
my idea.
Which one?
Eat the donut with the spoon. How do you eat your donut with a spoon?
Because no one is more creative than you. But then
he
you have
liked
to
that.
line up your businesses, right? You have to get all your paperwork in place. And he said there's some great mentors that really help you. You go to the city for this, you go to the county for this, you start your paperwork, and you know exactly, you set up your LLC, your S Corp, all of the things you need to do for business. And then you can live and fulfill your purpose.
Well, I do the purpose, and then I fill in the blank.
Wonder what the word of the day is today. We're going to find out soon.
I don't know, but I hope she does. I hope the word is not complicated, because you know my English is not very sexy. And I have to
Jordan, is
spell
your
it.
word complicated today?
What's your word of the day? I'm not
It's a
telling you.
secret.
That's a whole
You're
sentence.
never going to know who it is.
Unbelievable.
So tell me, what are your visions for business? Not the cafe, but you run AMP 2 TV productions. We've got AMP Media. We've got a lot of production houses. What is your vision, your goals for your businesses?
I want to give everybody out there that's listening an opportunity to be heard. I'm not looking to sell time. I'll work. You know, I work deals that are just ridiculous. I'm
Yes.
worse than Crazy Ed.
That's true.
Because I want to make it. If you make it, then I make it, and we both make it. And if you can make it in Boca, forget about Manhattan. You can make it anywhere.
True.
Because this is harder than I've ever had to work in Manhattan. Because here people are like, all about the me. Sorry to
I think
tell
people
you.
are trying to figure out getting out from under the rock, and they get out and then they get sick and they're going back under the rock.
But I'm giving you a chance to call in. 888-565-1470.
Spotlight
Call
your
it
business.
and just say, listen, I got this business. Tell me when to. And spotlight it. It ain't going to bite. Take a
your
little,
business.
invest a minute of your life right now. It doesn't cost you anything. A minute of your life to do a shout out for yourself.
Let us know what's happening in your business. But
And
the
if you
chambers are
don't
important.
do it and something doesn't work out for you tomorrow, you have no one to blame but yourself.
You know, we had interviewed somebody a couple weeks back, and when we called to follow up, she was sick. And what happened? We left a message, and Jordana, you're going to appreciate this story. I left
Look
a
who's
message
here.
with someone at work, Jordana Foster, and wondering why the store owner never called back.
What happened?
So I called her back today,
Yeah,
and
what
I said,
was
how
that
do you
all
feel?
about?
I'd left you a message a few weeks ago, and she says to me, I never got your message. I am so glad you called back. I was wondering if you could help me with an infomercial and a commercial to help grow my
we
business.
went from no contact to writing a piece of business.
So what happened is we thought something happened. She didn't feel well when she left the studio. She got sick. We left a message. She never got the message. So a couple weeks later, she says, I am so glad you reached back out. I feel great. I was wondering what happened, and can you help me with my business and advertising?
Yep, I saw that.
But again, it's the power of the follow-up. That as hard as it is and uncomfortable it is, even for me, to pick up those phone calls and make those follow-up calls just because you think they don't want to hear from you again, you left a message. That's an assumption. That's this fear that we hold on to. Right, the stories that we create in our own heads, that wasn't it at all. She was so grateful. She's shorthanded and said, can I call you back when my staff comes back in? Because people are out there getting sick, and what's happening? Your business owners are running businesses
You got to
solely.
find a different way to do it. Now, listen, not for nothing, but if you want to see Jordana Foster, it's going to be the next show. Look at her. Doesn't she look like $1 million?
Of course she does.
She looks like $1 million. I'm going to tell you, watch out now, Nolly. She's all color coordinated.
She always is with her paintings. We'll have to see what painting is up
My
there.
goodness gracious. Don't miss it. Right after us, we're going to be off, in
In about 3 minutes.
3
We
minutes?
also had lunch today from 2nd Street Bagels and Deli, and we said, can you
they have
deliver
another
it?
singer, you told me.
There's 3 sisters. I know every time I go in, there's more relatives in there. So
How
I said,
come we
oh,
don't have them singing?
meet the other sister. Meet my other sister. She sings too. But they're so busy. But again, they were short-staffed.
And they just celebrated their 1 year.
Their 1-year anniversary.
And they said it's 100% more than they anticipated. They've grown leaps and bounds.
Oh my gosh! Talk about starting a business during COVID. They knew.
Chicken noodle and a tuna melt.
They knew that they wanted mostly takeout. So there's a few tables, and you go
Very
in, you
small,
order. But
yeah.
their food is delicious. The place was. They had phone calls coming in. There was socially distant line. Always kind and always gracious. They always make you feel special and important. Every time I walk in there, they go, my gosh, how's Freddie? Here's your food. We ordered it, and I took it back with us. But everyone is struggling right now with getting people to work. So it's really the business owners that are working. You know how many days a week you work? 7? 8?
Too many.
8 days a week in growing
Too
business.
many. How
But
many
it's what you
days
got
are
to
there in
do.
a week?
8? 12?
10?
7?
Listen, what do we have planned for tomorrow's show?
Tomorrow's show, we kick off the brunch hour at 11 o'clock a.m., and we are spotlighting. This is a fantastic segment I'm really excited to bring forward. The South Florida Symphony. They are located in Miami, and actually, I got to ask you about that also. South Florida Symphony, located in Miami. They used to have an annex up here in Boca, but they are really looking to spread what they do to the other counties in South Florida, because you can go to Miami. Miami's such a hot spot. It's an incredible symphony, and they're actually going to be at Parker Playhouse performing this month, and we're going to try and give them some exposure virtually, so they're going to come to us through our platform virtually. We've got
They're
4
gonna
of
be
them
at the
joining us.
Parker?
They're going to be at the Parker in
We
a couple
need to
weeks.
talk. Maybe we could do a dry run. If it's open.
As of, I don't know. We're going to find out. As of right now, it's open, but
Oh,
you
that's
never know
exciting, though. You didn't tell me all
who
that.
you're going to meet. I met the head of their marketing department when I was at a brunch, and we were all sitting there masked up, and I gave him my card, he gave me his card, and I called him up, and he's the head of marketing, and they're really excited to get some more exposure up in Palm Beach County. They're looking for some radio exposure because they really want to spread the word on what they do. And I know you always wanted to be part of a symphony, so here you go.
It sounds. You didn't fill in all the blanks. You just told me the symphony's coming.
Well, it's gotten bigger and bigger. As we've been talking, he sent me all this information. Now we've got 4 people joining us on our platform virtually tomorrow. So tune into that at 11 o'clock a.m. right here in WNN.
This is going to be fun tomorrow.
All right, you ready to wrap this up?
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, half hour goes fast.
I goes like, I know.
And you said, what are we going to talk about?
Always give us a call, 888-565-1470. You can reach us live at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can write in anytime. Tune in just a few minutes for Ready, Set, Go Beyond show with Jordana Foster. Find out what the word of the day is, and we'll see you in the morning.
And don't be late. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Bye-bye.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.